We have another big story, an unfortunate one I want to get to right now. Massive manhunt underway right now in Germany as German officials search for suspects in the Berlin attack that left 12 people dead and more than 40 injured after a large truck was intentionally rammed into a Christmas market near the center of the city. You know, back in November, the State Department had warned European authorities that terrorists were targeting Christmas events throughout the continent. So how did they miss this? And what does it mean for the potential for more attacks? And by the way, are they going to catch this guy? Joining me right now, Fox News strategic analyst Colonel Ralph Peters and former homicide detective Rod Wheeler. Good to see both of you. You know, Colonel, I want to start with you because you lived a number of years in Germany. You speak German. I know you're following all the German papers. Bring us up to speed on the latest. It sounds as though they're still concerned that they haven't gotten the right guy.
No, they are not going to charge the guy they got. The German police really screwed this one up, Trish. They actually had very specific warnings about a Christmas market in Berlin being attacked possibly with a truck. And this was absolutely an act of Islamist terror. It was not a lone wolf attack. There was planning behind it, a cell probably, maybe a large cell, because this guy, I mean, they didn't go after a Christmas market in the old medieval center of Nuremberg or Munich where it's hard to get a truck in. They picked the bright side plots in Berlin where broad avenues and wide feeder streets come together and you can maneuver a truck. Even somebody who doesn't know how to drive it can maneuver a truck into that Christmas market. On top of that, they knew where they could hijack a truck with keys and driver within about 2 miles of the place. I mean, this was
so in other words, they knew a lot, and they know
yeah.
that they have a real threat on their hands, and that's been made abundantly clear. So how did they miss it? Is that what you're getting at? I mean, what's going on with Angela Merkel? I mean, she obviously missed one big thing, and that she welcomed her refugees into the country, more than 1 million of them, and now they find themselves with real security threats.
Trish, last night when this went down, Angela Merkel got word of the attack while she was at an Integrationsfeier, a celebration dinner or event for integration of refugees. So it was very ironic. But the bottom line in this, Berlin, even with all the warnings they had, the Berlin police did screw it up. But it also illustrates how very, very hard it is to stop an attack like this when the terrorists turn the tools of our everyday lives, like a truck, against us. I mean, it's amazing how they can judo us like this.
But doesn't that tell us, Rod Wheeler, we need better intelligence? We know that they're going to do these things. We need to figure out who they are, who's sympathetic to ISIS, and we need to follow them like hawks, period.
Well, you're exactly right, Trish, and I can tell you that Colonel Peters is 100% correct when he says that the German officials missed this. I mean, we had all the warning signs, and when you look at the way that this attack went down yesterday, and I was watching this very closely, I mean, this has all the hallmarks of an Islamic terrorist attack. I mean, it's right out of their playbook. They used the vehicle. They used the vehicle before in Nice, France. Remember that situation where over 84 people was killed? So this isn't something that should have really come as a major surprise, but they missed it. So how do they catch this guy? How are they going to track this individual down? The best piece of evidence, Trish, that they have right now is that vehicle and people that may have been associated with the individual that they suspect may have been, the one responsible for conducting
Rod,
this
let me
event.
ask you, how far does it set them back in that they got the wrong guy initially, or they believe they got the wrong guy?
That's an excellent question. Now, they've said that they had the wrong guy, that they put the wrong guy under arrest. This was a guy that was a refugee from Pakistan. Now, what they haven't said is that they've ruled this guy out completely. So we don't know for sure exactly what all information, Trish, they have pertaining to that guy. Just because they haven't decided to hold this guy doesn't mean that he's completely off the radar. So I think this guy is going to continue to be looked at, and they're going to continue to look at other individuals that may have been associated with this guy and with that vehicle, Trish.
Now, President Obama has called Angela Merkel and expressed his condolences, and he's also offered up any help, any assistance that we can give the Germans in their attempt here to find this guy. What is it that we can be doing right now, Colonel Peters?
Well, what we can do is use technical means of intelligence to listen to chatter over the internet, cell phones, etc. But if I may add one detail, I mean, the guy the Germans busted, the Pakistani immigrant, the reason they began to suspect he wasn't involved was there was blood all over the cab of the truck from the guy, the Polish driver who'd struggled and been shot, and there was no blood on this guy. I mean, how do you do that? So, I mean, this was really a police screw-up, big time. We can help technically. That's it.
Yeah, well, they may need our help now, Rod.
Yeah, I think they do. And, you know, even here in the United States, there's things real quickly that we can do to remain safe. I mean, we got 4 days until the Christmas holiday. A lot of people are out shopping. The one thing I can tell you real quick, in the viewers, that you have to do, we must do, is to remain vigilant. We have to be aware of what's around us. If we see something, we have to say something to the authorities.
Absolutely.
So that we can get in and investigate it.
So many people are reluctant to do that because they're somehow concerned that they're going to be seen as Islamophobic, Rod, if they do that. Colonel, you know this as well, and that's been a concern, obviously, in Europe. It's a concern here, but at some point you got to get over it because this is about saving lives at this point. All right,
That's right,
good
Trish.
to see you, gentlemen.